guys, it's Minx here. Welcome back to the final installment of Heavy Rain. Oh wait, no, it's Danganronpa. Heavy Rain will be continuing really soon, guys. I just had a few issues with editing. The fact the ending's terrible, you know what I mean? I'm finishing up editing it myself, because I was editing the whole thing, and yeah, just been putting it off, but I will finish it. Expect to see one maybe even today. Anyway, let's begin. Class trial. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
There's two Monokumas. He's multiplied?
Wrong!
No multiplication. Just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Whew, can we just get to the elevator already?
Boy!
You're not playing along!
Loud.
Along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay. Hey!
Then if everyone's here is ready, please board the pain train, elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go. Please!
What the heck?
You're never gonna be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already I didn't do it, for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume? Or did not? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprits.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. It's Celeste. It's Celeste! I have to do it! I can't let him kill Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives... The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. It's Celeste. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to slowly walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. We'll be running out of people soon. There's only 8 of us left. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. So there'll be 7 left, with the 8 with the mysterious extra classmate. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just
Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come
Stop
on.
goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yes, of course I want to save. Right.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure
We know this
out,
already.
then I'll punish now then.
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
It's her.
It points
It's
to
her.
you as having created the suit and wearing it
my
while
God.
committing crime.
This is so
after
intense
crime.
already.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
The problem is he doesn't really... He's not a very, good liar or a very concise person to deal with, you know what I mean? Like, he's not the strongest. He's not going to stand up well to scrutiny. Is Hiro really the killer, or... For anything else, we have to make that clear. Make your argument. Yasuhiro's message.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second.
I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awfully messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is...
Everything we found in your room.
Wrong, I fucked up.
Shoot!
Shit, I lost a whole heart for that as well.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are
I'm fucking up big time here, by the way.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why?
No! Just hold on a second.
Everything we found.
The blueprints, the suit parts.
Fuck you.
No, that's wrong. Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
Yeah!
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise
This
their
is fucking
handwriting.
Hiro we're talking about. He's a fucking idiot.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So, Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's
I
innocent
love
as
you,
well.
Byakuya! Thank you for having my back for once.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone
No, I don't
running
think
around in
so.
a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual question. Hiro was the one in the suit.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime
But you just said you didn't think it was him.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
He's not the culprit at all.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
That's absolutely fucking awesome. Well,
You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless
Okay.
body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular
yes,
items.
it really was. The top and the thing.
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The blue top.
I got it!
There we go. There's still one more thing. And it was this. There we go, perfect.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment
Okay.
room.
That makes perfect sense.
So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
Exactly. So that was used to transport him. I reckon Hiro might have helped move Hifumi in like a drug state or something.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's
What a load of
body?
fucking shit.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment
What a
room.
fucking bitch.
Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you
There's blood on the
respond?
wheels.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact
What
that
a
you
fucking
hardly
bitch!
understand what is
What a
going on
fucking...
around
She's
you.
definitely guilty. Well, I've never heard someone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change her mind. If I just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Okay, a new element. Yeah. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like looking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember the tab key now has a function along with the right mouse button and left mouse buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your difficulty action is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. Okay, this is gonna be really bad. I fucking hate these. Moment of truth, bullet time with Celeste.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
I'm so fucked.
You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a
Fuck
fool.
you, Celeste. I did it! I fucking beat her.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Fuck you, Celeste! Fuck you. I did it. I fucking did it, guys.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Okay.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly's
Yeah,
wheel's
fuck you,
tread.
Celeste, you
The
stupid
killer
bitch.
probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident. As they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way.
Celeste is
Let's
so
get
guilty.
back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look back at how the body was removed, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? I don't know what's going on here. Robo Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved
This
to
is
the
all correct.
repository.
I'm so low on health.
Yeah, The culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you
Oh,
could
fuck
push the
you,
dolly,
game.
no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept
Everything we just... Then you must realize that who...
Okay.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Yeah, so we can't bend over. So that's the thing we have to shoot.
As we know, and from there...
Yeah, then loaded it onto the...
Now, keep in mind that the...
Well, yeah, all you'd have to do is
Bend over.
There we go. Fuck you.
No, that's wrong.
Please get me some stuff back. I need some health back here.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
She couldn't move. She couldn't bend properly. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised she got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you it wasn't me. Okay, so yeah, basically you can't move in the suit. We get the gist of that, right everyone?
When you're in that
Yeah.
suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance the costume was taken off just to move the body because... That one.
I got it!
Yes. I'm pulling
I
back
didn't
some
think
health.
Taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
Don't know what's up this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Exactly, so he couldn't take off the suit. And it has a lock on the back. He was locked into it by someone else.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to
Exactly. It's Celeste. Kill Celeste. Kill her. Kill, kill, kill.
It's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being
Now
dragged
this is a
away by
really
Robo
bad
Justice?
bit of evidence against our case.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
100% save here? Yeah, I can. Gonna just save in the middle of the trial because obviously I'm in a bad position right now, health-wise. Yes. How did you get hurt? The guy hit me. So Robo Justice did hit. Oh shit! So that is evidence. But did he kill him?
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond
Celeste
question.
orchestrated though. Hero was drugged or something.
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Stop being so
gotta be
fucking
right.
dumb, Hina.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that.
Celeste is so obviously fucking guilty here.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do
Okay,
it.
let's do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then. Let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with
Okay,
this
so we
morning.
start with this morning.
4 of us gathered together in the...
We know this
waited
already.
there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went
Okay.
missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious.
I don't
for
believe
about
that at all.
An hour after
I do
was
not believe that
attacked
at
by
all.
my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
You already know all
He
this.
was
It's just like, I'm gonna
injured,
skip
but
through
not long
this.
after-
I don't care. You guys don't care either, I'm sure. So Celeste said she saw something.
And soon after,
I saw some.
I don't trust anything she said. She was just driving this whole thing wrong. She saw the scream. She orchestrated every single fucking thing.
then
They heard another scream. Now, this is where it's difficult. Yeah? Celeste is with us. She could not have been there when Hifumi died. Now, that's a problem.
at that point we decided Celeste. Well,
Just go through all this again.
when we got back, and that's
So maybe...
I left.
This is really weird.
We must, because
Maybe drugged Hiro
And
killed
that's when I
Hifumi?
told- Then the three, but right after we ran it, we rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room.
Yep, so again, this is just fucking all the same shit. Come on, who cares? Come on. Come on.
But when next thing and after,
Celeste and which is where
We don't really need to see this. Jesus Christ, game.
I think that
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally
It was very complicated.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate
Okay,
situation.
that's a good
And
viewpoint.
from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. So let's look at Taka's case first. We're going to be here for like 2 hours, so you know. Monokuma File 3.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
what makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
it's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer.
While Taka's death,
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
There's no evidence they were used in that order.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in.
Fuck.
Shoot!
Only got 1 health left, guys. This is really difficult.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came
what makes you say
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Nah, this is one of those shit things I'm meant to be doing. I just failed.
Shoot!
Failed. Jesus Christ. Right, let's reload that. Actually, what happens if I die?
I refuse to give up yet.
Okay, we're gonna try this section again. We just failed miserably.
So,
There's no time mentioned at all in these. Influence gauge. Concentration. Weak spots. If you target a weak spot, then hold down the left mouse button. You can use that weak spot as a temporary truth bullet later in the argument.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
There we go. I did it, guys.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in
Yes.
order, but in reality, Taka was killed before?
Damn right he was.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something to relate to what time he must have died. The watch. Hangman's Gambit, is it? Yeah, fucking hell. Really? So I have to spell out watch. Maybe? Wristwatch. So I we're looking for. And then S. Unfortunately, my fucking thing went so fast that I didn't even see it in time. A we need. T we need. And then... Oh no, I fucked up. C we need. H we need. Come on. There we go, wristwatch.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because
Yeah,
as of
because last night we know that his wristwatch was working, so we can skip this bit.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last
Then
night...
he must have been attacked at 6 this
then he
morning.
must-
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around
She wasn't
7.
attacked.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we
That's a
saw
very
how they
smart
were
murderer.
used in each incident, we'd easily make
I
that
wonder
wrong
if I'm wrong.
assumption.
I've been wrong so
Now,
far, so, you know.
if Taka was killed
Well, I was
around
right about
6,
Leon.
Then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With
It doesn't
him
make
at
sense
least,
if him is
we're all
death.
safe.
Maybe there's 2 killers or an accomplice that doesn't know it, like heroes under drugs or something. Yeah.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming.
That's
on
actually
tape or
something they could have done.
Then played it later on.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making
I mean,
stuff
it's a good
up.
theory.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then...
Was she
there
really
the
in the bathroom or
disappearance
not?
of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there.
She
right
could have done,
then.
but I don't think
Even
she
if
did.
She could pull that off. There's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body, because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi, or...
There's
moved
something
either
missing
of
here.
their
There's something
bodies.
missing.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out
Now,
how
this is a big
Hifumi's
one.
body
This is
got
impossible.
moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said...
Okay, so yeah, I don't trust her at all.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third?
It doesn't make any sense, this at all. It's like a massive hole.
Man, yeah. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Well, what if I told you there
Oh,
was a way to make
Kyoko.
the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
That doesn't make any sense.
Not another.
Oh, because he wasn't dead.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult.
Yeah.
I think what
Shit.
she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still
And then he
alive.
crawled up to the art room.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? I think it fucking is! Yes! Some real fucking excitement here, guys. Holy shit. Let's make our arguments. Broken wristwatch. I don't really think this is a good... This isn't the right one, surely.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It
Fuck
is
you, Celeste, you
impossible.
fucking bitch.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement
That isn't true, though.
Was made. Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, let's do this. So guys, I'm on one heart. I have no idea what to do
Are
here.
you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body of Hifumi's dead, and that is.
Are we really so sure? Maybe
The announcement was intended to signal
someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's
dead body had been
Please
found.
work. Yes!
No.
That's been like fucking 10 minutes on this fucking bit of the gambit. This is ridiculous. The fucking, whatever it is, non-stop debate.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
I wish that was just clearer. I just have no idea what's
Of course
happening.
it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere.
Yeah, Hifumi wasn't dead.
I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Fuck off, Celeste.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
Okay.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body
Did we?
discovery
I don't actually recall that
announcement
at all.
twice.
The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. And the second time was when... it wasn't just when Hifumi came back to life, even though it fucking was. This one?
I got it!
Apparently it's that one, even though that's wrong!
The second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
But maybe it must be right, but it's still weird because, you know, like, it's still weird. It still doesn't make sense.
It didn't seem weird at the time.
Because he wasn't dead, because he actually
But
sat
it
up and talked to us.
contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
So he climbed up there by himself.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That was hilarious.
That is
Shut the fuck up.
worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body.
Okay.
Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
He
This
cleaned
whole
his own
thing is
glasses.
pointless.
It has to be proved that shows Hifumi was still alive. I had to find and show it to everyone. So that would be Hifumi and his Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found him dead, his body disappeared.
And the
Okay.
next time it was in the...
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
There was a difference though, right? Yes, there was.
No, that's
The
wrong.
glasses are missing. Fuck you, Celeste, you fucking bitch.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Okay. The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was the that one.
I got it!
Damn right.
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
Oh, so the noise we heard.
And whose digital camera was it?
Shit.
Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I think that is correct. Same on the
Doubt
camera.
Anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Damn right you
A
wouldn't.
few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
Oh, he
Who
can
would
do.
benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
I think that is definitely what happened.
If he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
So he faked his own injury?
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
So that makes Celeste definitely fucking did it!
He was still alive at that point. The disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's corpse was... Okay, that's interesting, actually. It must be Hifumi, but why? I don't get it.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository
He
got
locked
locked.
himself in there.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right?
Did they kill each other?
So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
Okay.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead. And when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository.
But why did he do that?
So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Really?
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one
Hifumi
more
was a
piece
killer?
of
Oh my
evidence?
god, this is just blowing everything out of the water.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
But why did he die? The item that Hifumi stole from Taka, could it be... It's, that.
I got it!
Damn right it is.
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
It could only have been, Taka.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out
But it was
Huffy.
split. There's the other piece. Just to be clear.
TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. I can't let her get to me. Okay, so the reason is the other scrap of paper. Make your argument. Oh, hang on, it's none of these, right? It can't be any of these. What the fuck?
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 AM, I believe.
That means the broken wristwatch is the right thing. It does matter.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
There we go. I don't know what the fuck happened with that first shot, but that is right! Got it, yes!
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 AM, which is the same time Taka was murdered.
Damn right.
You've already proven that using his wristwatch.
Just past 6.
But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was
So Hifumi
killed.
killed Taka?
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place, written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same
Well,
as
why
me.
isn't Hero dead though?
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less.
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh?
I'm not sure he did because it's
stole
torn. That means they had a fight with it.
Go ahead, show us.
I mean, I guess it must be the other bit of the note, right?
I got it!
There we go.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Damn right it does.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup. They're from the same
They match
piece
up
of paper.
perfectly.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small
So they tried to kill
scrap.
each other, I guess?
Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa, yeah. After seeing all
Oh
this,
my god, Hifumi, what a
was
cunt!
super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact,
Because he's in love.
he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Okay, not that far.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly...
How the
and
fuck was he dead,
completely
though? I don't
dead.
understand that.
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Celeste.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
And Celeste is the one that
During
notified
that
the
time,
things.
We'd all split up and were searching
Celeste,
for Taka's missing
you're guilty
body.
as fuck.
In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus.
Walrus?
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
They were indeed. It's the one from the art
Hifumi
rack.
was killed in the repository. The culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
Yeah, they did though. It's clean,
Wouldn't
right?
that be seriously risky?
It would have
for
been,
him?
but I guess they
I'm
did it.
surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
Oh god.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes, but if the hammers were all...
So
So,
the question is,
how could the
how
culprit...
could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, so which hammer was used to attack Celeste?
Neither of them.
Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The hammer from the art room. The weapon was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture around this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. What are we doing? Fucking one of these, really? Okay, that's fine. Spot this hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
This? That's not a contradiction, shit. I really struggle with these, like, more than I do any of the other modes, you know?
What was used? Was it just maybe Justice Hammer?
Well, there's one, how was the culprit? And how did nobody witness them carry...
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Yes! Got it right this time. It's the spotless hammer in the art room. That was the murder weapon.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Damn right it
If
was.
the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Okay, so
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice hammers used those as a basis for their design.
So, was Hifumi in on it with Celeste, and then Celeste kills Hifumi?
If that's true, that would explain.
And she was holding the laptop
files
ransom,
note
maybe?
About the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Damn right.
Whoever did that was the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Yes.
Hold on a moment. I still think
No,
it's strange to
Celeste,
assume someone
shut the
was
fuck up,
working
it was you.
together. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit
There is
to
benefits.
helping someone else
You have the
carry out a
laptop, that's the
murder.
benefit, because he's thirsty as fuck for that laptop
So
stick.
the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but there is a reason. Make your argument. Right, this is going to be not the spotless hammer, obviously.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained.
1 second, guys. Kuri says no chance two people work together on this.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for even if more than one, only the one who actually
So
carried-
impossible is the
rule
one?
holds true.
Yes!
No, that's wrong.
Damn right it is.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus
If they
reward
each kill
benefit.
someone.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Okay, so they work
They
together.
made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing
It was all a very
bodies.
cunning plan by
Creating
Celeste.
one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Very handy.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful.
I mean, Hifumi did kill
Be so
someone.
cruel.
Nina.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed this fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, There's really only one person who seems to fit.
Here's my answer.
It's Celeste.
It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious
Yes, you are.
individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
God, she's losing her shit!
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Okay, Byakuya, well, back me up here. What is it the only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? That one.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us
Yes!
was a lie?
It was, yes!
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, yeah, she drove the whole thing forward, like I said.
Second floor, specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
She, like I said, she drove the entire thing forward.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Exactly! Holy shit, they worked together. And he made a noise, and we all came running, and then she looked innocent. She set this up, and fuck them! Holy shit!
To divide into two
Oh my
groups,
god.
so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Yep, she did. She just played us like a fucking fiddle.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it?
Wonderful.
It was your way of telling
He's smart.
him we are on the third
I hope he doesn't
floor.
kill anyone
Everything's
soon,
going
but he
according to
probably
plan.
is.
Why
'Cause he's
else
really
would
dangerous.
You let out a scream that could have carried across the sea.
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
You're lucky she didn't fucking murder you.
Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
I'm gonna drop a save here, guys, because I've made it quite far now, and I don't want to fuck this up any more than I already have, you know?
Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Look at her
Don't
fucking
bother
playing
trying
innocent.
to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it. Looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
What did she fucking say? They must be really enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was
She knew the body was dead
completely out of place.
beforehand.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I
It means she's a fucking murdering bitch and she should be executed right
You
now.
hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said Celeste's comments doesn't make sense, but what is he alluding to? Really? One of these fucking things? Make your argument. Well, that's not right, obviously. I'm gonna have to find the right thing.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
Just like those guys died.
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Not that, apparently. I fucking hate these so much. This is my least favorite part of the trial. I
All
wish
I
it wasn't
said
here.
was, they must really be enjoying this.
Enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. And that is all.
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All
I
said
took the
They
so
must
strange
really
thing.
enjoy
Jesus
The
Christ.
sight of us. They must be. We are all going to. We are going to die. And that is all.
And that's all it takes to.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Right, so the strange thing about her comment is... Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ. Right, so
All
strange is
they
the bullet.
said, They must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die.
This.
Just like
Yes! Fuck you, Celeste!
wrong.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
Damn right!
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imagination.
I love the way she's still denying it. It's like that fucking poker face.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about
The photo.
suspicious
This is going to
person
come back
I
to the
saw.
photo.
Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And
It can't have been her.
Simply forgotten. You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi
Unless-
being dragged away.
Obviously something happened
If
to Hero.
everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations.
Exactly,
than
they
the
could have
one
just
you
had it
offered up.
posed beforehand.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations. I don't know what to do here. If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi and the suspects have been drinking? No.
Shoot!
Fuck. Fucking fuck. This one?
I got it!
Apparently it's that one.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Damn right. Apparently, I don't think it is. Look,
The one
I think that
being
looks like
dragged
he
off
really
in
is being
that
dragged
picture
away.
isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of
Hifumi
course
made
you'd
the
notice
suit.
and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
They drugged his drink or something.
Such a thing
Oh, shut the fuck
is
up, you lying
utterly
bitch.
Impossible.
It's not.
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate
Oh,
you.
she's getting hostile. Celeste thinks she can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is it really possible? What's this? Another one of these? Jesus Christ. Okay, let's do this. Sorry guys, I had to go and answer a quick phone call.
Then you just dragged me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight.
Okay.
You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Okay.
Then
Maybe
the
it's that
fortune-telling
right.
idiot is the culprit after all.
No way!
It's something to do with the position. You can't stand up straight. Yeah, so you can't. It's the posture, the thing.
Then you just dragged me. You tried to make me look.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside the there's
No way.
This.
They could stand.
Yes! Fuck you, Celeste, you fucking bitch! I hope you fucking die. Break!
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
It can't bend, as we already established.
That's right. They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was
That's
the
really elaborate as fuck, guys. Celeste losing her shit.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
checkmate.
Oh god, she's going mental.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot. What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey Hifumi, who was it attacked you? And he said Hero's name, right? Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who
That's
had
not proof though, he's in on it!
his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
He's in on it! Why would he even back him up? It's ridiculous.
You a lot.
Celeste is losing her shit.
What do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He said us by our last names.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Okay.
Exactly. I know I heard him
Yeah,
say
he always said Mr.
more than
Negi,
once, for
Mr.
example.
Yeah.
So if Hifumi
Can't remember
did
anyone
mean
else's
to
last
say
names,
Hiro's
but
name,
still.
he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
What's Celeste's last name?
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first
Oh,
name.
you're stumbling, Celeste.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on.
Celeste isn't her real name.
There's one person
And it'll say
could
in her
apply to,
e-handbook what her
and
actual
that's
name is.
Celeste. She never actually
Because
told us
she's
what her
pretending
real
to be
name
French
is.
and German. She isn't actually, she's Japanese.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look
She's
like
so
a
mad because
loser
it's
to
her
you?
name's gonna be like, is gonna be Japanese, and she hates being Japanese.
I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide
Why should we trust her?
open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg.
That's
Could
not
you
your name.
Please stop making me repeat myself over and over again!
Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. It's gonna be in her handbook, right? Her e-handbook. E-handbook is the correct bullet.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
Yep.
If there's one person here who might have that last
It would have to be you, Celeste.
Okay, so
How many times do I have to name? Celestia Ludenberg!
I like how she sounds like she's sped up. She's like,
How
oh!
long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict
I have plenty of ways of contradicting you. This. Fuck
No,
you.
it's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right?
It does.
Monokuma told us all about it before.
Why do we have to have a flashback of Monokuma telling us something that happened 3 fucking days ago? We know that the handbooks do that. We don't need a fucking drawing
So
of
all
it.
we have to do is check her handbook.
Exactly.
And that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy.
Then you're obviously guilty. Well, you obviously are guilty anyway. You're fucked.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again.
I
From the
hate doing this
beginning.
comic strip shit
And
because
shed
I
light on
never
all
ever
your
get it right.
crimes.
And this is
And
where I'm gonna
that'll
die,
bring
guys.
Everything to an end.
Again. It's been my 5th death on this one. Closing argument begin. I hate these because I can never tell what the actual drawing is of, basically. That's the problem. I love the way there's like scenes from the previous things in here as well, by the way. So that's Hifumi and the killer meeting. Uh-huh. So he was chloroformed or something, it looks like. You know. Again, this is always really challenging. So this is him putting them into the robot suit and the camera being used to take a picture. Okay. Act 3. It's 6 AM. Hifumi kills Taka. And leaves, what hammer was it? I can't remember. And leaves Justice Hammer 3 on the floor, I guess. So Act 4. Celeste shows the picture. And Hifumi acts all innocent. He's like, I don't really know what goes here. Again, Jesus Christ, these are really, really, really difficult. So, Hifumi covers himself in the blood pack and then puts Justice Hammer 4 on the floor, right? To make it look like he's been killed. Right? We all go in, see the thing, and we're like, holy shit, this is like really bad. Meanwhile, he goes and moves the body. That's good. Right, we're getting progress here. And then that body is killed. So we have 2 panels missing. A packet of potato chips? That's the ball from the first one? Jesus Christ, I have no idea. So, then we'll go back. The acts start with a clock, so I think it's safe to assume that that is, you know, that's right. Maybe that's right. So far, they all make sense. I'm missing one, though, right? I'm missing... Fumi's like just... Okay, let's see. Let's see. We'll see what happens with this.
The killer is you!
Let's see how bad this goes.
Before anything, the killer persuaded
That person's Hifumi. So the first panel we got right.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Okay, the time was 1 AM. This is where I might have got something wrong.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
It was Hero. Okay, cool. And they knock him out with some chloroform.
That someone they met with was Hero. The murderous duo intended to pass Hero off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out,
And stuffed him in the suit. And took a picture of it. Perfect.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hero. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
Okay, perfect. Next thing.
And then finally, at 6 AM, they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
I did the things
And
wrong.
that's where Hifumi...
It's the wrong hammer. Yeah. So I need to do this again. Okay. Right. So let's rejig that. Justice Hammer 4 was used here, and then Justice Hammer 3 was put on the floor of the other room, right? Yeah. Let's try that again. Hopefully that'll work.
The killer is you! And that's where
Yeah, that's the right hammer now.
the murder weapon was Justice Hammer. The reason hammer number 4 was used was
to create confusion
about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was
the attack in the library.
This time, with these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our mind that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did.
That was really smart, I must
fell
admit.
right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But
Here we go.
while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for.
So he covered himself in blood and threw Justice Hammer
Took
3
a
on the
blood
floor.
packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered.
Okay, awesome.
He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi.
Okay, awesome.
We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation.
Piece of shit.
He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, We all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the
Why did he
dolly
do that,
to
though? I
move
guess it was
all
just
the
part of
way
the plan
down
of
to
the other
deposit.
person,
That
of Celeste.
explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act.
They clubbed him
Their
to death.
plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
It's Celeste. Look at this fucking CG. What the fuck? Celeste, time to die.
Sorry, you lose.
You really do lose. Complete!
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
Oh my
So,
fucking god.
You finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost...
Oh, her
I
voice
don't like
completely
to survive
changed.
Interesting.
So, who's guilty? Got 100 medals to spend on
Okay,
gifts.
Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Here we go, let's vote. It's gonna be Celeste, obviously. Monokuma vote time! Everyone voted for Celeste, apart from Celeste. So, very cunning plan by her, but she's gone to shit. Basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The black, and this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was... Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all of my calculations.
I knew it.
So, you really did approach Hifumi with this plan? But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure he relied on her speciality. Lying. My speciality. Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then, did you use... you know... I knew you'd figure it out, Kyuko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I did the wrong voice. I'm totally out the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then, you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into a plan you'd come up with. Alright again. Last night, after we had our meeting about it, I disappeared. I paid it. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually...
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What? Are you okay with
It was
this?
Taka. He stole it.
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see? As it turned... As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her.
You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for
He
me...
came to my room last night unannounced, and then it was hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. I know he got a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far.
It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. What a bitch.
I'm about to say something I never said before in my life. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Oh, wait, please, if you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands.
Actually...
Taki is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target.
What?
You don't mean.
Taki is going to try to kill you.
Indeed.
And all he can keep her to... And also he can keep her to himself.
That bastard. Bastard.
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
Absolutely not. How could I?
I swear.
I have to save her.
Actually...
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete.
What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that Atom had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yes, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he would make something like that, but he's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That is true. That's it?
Let's see...
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain that part about him playing dead?
What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you'd actually let him live?
Are you okay with
That's
this?
simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on.
And he really believed that?
Well, of course, there wasn't all that there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was... While you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed that lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you planned to kill him all along?
But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How could a human life mean so little to you?
Well...
That is a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money?
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But...
All along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little
Obviously,
bitch.
that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You
I wanted to
little
get out.
bitch.
Every day was fresh torture. And you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had the dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream. Forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me...
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
Isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle? Castle? Oh my god. and to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers slash bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That was what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you're really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That is a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying, and plus, how could anyone be so calm? Did you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared?
My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes,
That's
indeed.
right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I'd like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked like to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie, and that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills,
You all done?
thrills!
Okay, let's get rolling. The black and disturbed the piece that must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Enjoy the
Guess I'll
horrific
let
cutscene,
Kyoko
guys.
hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
What the fuck was that? Room key 17.
Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Bye, Celeste. Here we go, Monokuma murder time. Oh, it's a European castle. Oh, it's a stage with lots of Monokumas watching. The burning of the Versailles witch. They're gonna burn her to death. Great. The music's oddly sad. Compared to how ridiculous and over the top the previous two deaths were, this is quite different. Like, Leon's and Mondo's deaths were like really stupidly, graphically, slapstickly violent, whereas this is just a bit sad. Oh my fucking god. Her face is gonna melt. Her face is gonna melt. It's gonna melt! As a fire engine. What the fuck is going on? Oh, the fire engine's gonna hit her. Really? Really? What the fuck is this shit? Well, that was a really weird cutscene. Well done, Monokuma. You put out the fire. 10 out of 10. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone could cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so many more people had to die. You guys are still young. You need to place more value in your lives.
What are you gonna do?
And here I thought you guys were going to pass the torch of hope to the next generation. What do I care about hope? I'll just throw it to the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but the reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you going to make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
I'm so sick of people asking me. Give it a rest already! So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey! Hey!
What's the deal with that?
What?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh!
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh! How exciting!
What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Little I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Bye!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key Celeste gave you?
so...
It's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
That means...
Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. And I'm going to probably leave it here, because I don't want to keep going any longer. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. And that, guys, is where we're going to leave it. We're going to find out what happened to Alter Ego next time. And I hope you enjoyed this installment of Danganronpa. Trigger happy Havoc if you did. Hit that like button. And I will see you in the next installment very fucking soon. Bye for now. Have a great day. Bye!